Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim Andrew and I'm a pattern maker and a fashion designer. So in my last video, I started the process of showing you how you can convert your commercial block into a sloper. I worked on the front of my block, so in this video, I'm going to be working on the back of the block. Now this is going to be a similar process of basically taking my measurements from my own body and then applying them to the block and making sure that I just get the block to be like my own sloper. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. Now the same measurements still apply. It's still the same body. It's just that now I'm going to be working with my back, and for my back I'm going to need my back width, my back body's length, also my nape to waist measurement. That can also apply. So to begin, I'm going to trace the outline of my block all round. And the difference between the back and the front is that for the back of my block, I will trace the outline of the block, and then I will still maintain my back width line, my underarm line, that's the line that goes under the armhole. I'm going to maintain my shoulder darts, and I'm also going to maintain the midpoint of my waist dart. So I'm basically going to maintain everything that the block comes with, aside the darts excess. That's the only thing that I'm going to be changing with this back block. So here I'm just using my seam ripper, the tip of my seam ripper, to mark the peak of my dart position. So you can use an awl. You can easily use something that will just give you that mark easily. So yeah, that's what I just did. So all I'm doing right now is basically just making sure that I draw out my back width line, my underarm line, as well as my dart, my shoulder dart, and the middle leg of my waist dart. So now that I have my block all traced and my lines all drawn out, I'm going to go ahead and start making the necessary adjustments. So starting with the shoulder, so I'm going to check the block shoulder and make sure that it aligns with my actual shoulder. Again, my shoulder length measurement is 11 cm. I'm just making that correction. It's not really a correction, it's more like an adjustment, right? Just making the adjustment on the shoulder of the block. And then I'm going to also check my back width. My back width is 35 cm divided by 2, and again plus ease, 0.5 cm for ease, and I'm just marking that as well. This will now give me the new position for my armhole. So I'll connect shoulder, back width down to the armhole to give me my new arm size circumference. Now don't be in a hurry to draw your armhole curve. Like usually, if with my students, they know that I always say if you can get all 3 points at once, make sure you do that. Using this armhole curve is usually the best option. It just gives you the right curve. So just you can get the shoulder, back width, armhole all at once. That's perfect. Next, I'm going to be marking my back body's length, and as I initially said, you can use your nape to waist measurement. You can use that, that's fine, but I'm just used to always marking like the back body's length. Then I'll now square it back to the center back and then find my side seam. But yeah, you can use your nape to waist, that also would work. So just mark that from the neck base down the center back line to whatever your measurement is. For mine, I think my back body's length is about 40 cm. My nape to waist is 38. So mark either one and then check your side seam. Again, my side seam is 18 cm, sorry. My side seam is 18 cm. So I've marked my side seam, I've marked my center back bodice length, and I'll just connect that with a straight line so you can see. You don't need to, for the back, you wouldn't need to do a lot of that lengthening or shortening. You can still do that, but for the back you can just easily just mark and connect, and that's what I've done. Next is the waist dart. So check the measurement, right? Measure your waist, the block waist. See what you have there. Is it your waist, whatever excess you might have? If the block usually will be bigger at this point, right? The block waist will be bigger than your actual waist. So check, see what the excess is. So I think here, I think the block was about, in inches, it was about 32. My waist is 28, about 28. So I had about 1 inch on this quarter to work with for my dart. So I just used that measurement to get my dart leg. So just that 1 inch divided by 2, you can convert that to cm, whatever I get as cm. I think I used 1 inch just for the sake of inches, but in cm I think I had about 3 cm, not 2 cm. So I think I had about 3 cm, which I used 1.5 on either side of the dart leg, and then I just connected that to the peak of the dart, which is at the underarm line, and I created my new dart. That's basically it. No big story. Now, if you adjusted the neckline for the front, you're going to have to do the same for the back. So if there was any adjustment, again, the measurement, the calculation for the neckline is the neckline width, the width of the neckline. You would take whatever your neck circumference is divided by 5 minus 0.5 cm for the back, and then the difference between your back bodice length and your nape to waist would be your back neckline depth. So that's how you can check and be sure that you have the right neckline for the back. Now I know that for some you would usually check the bust measurement and adjust, but I don't do that because I will still apply my back contouring anyway, so I just leave that for later. This is me just folding my dart over one dart leg to the other, usually the longer over to the shorter dart leg, and then I'm going to true and blend my dart legs. Don't forget to label your blocks. So write your name, write the size. Very important to always indicate the size, because this will just save you stress later when maybe you have like several different blocks with different sizes. That just helps just avoid confusion. Also, I would also label which one's the front and back. I know you would know that, but just for labeling sake, right? CB, CF, center front, center back. Now that we're done with the bodices, let's move on to the sleeve. Now for this sleeve, there are a few ways that you can alter your sleeve depending on what you might need your sleeve adjustment for. But I'm just going to show you one way. I've just decided that I'm going to do another video where I show about 3 ways that you can alter your sleeve or adjust your sleeve depending on the need. Now for this situation, my bicep is a bit small, so I think I need about 2 cm extra. This is 32, and I think this is 32, yes, and I think I needed 34 cm. So I need to add 2 cm to my bicep, meaning that my crown is fine. The crown is going to fit into the armhole nicely. Now another thing about this crown is this: the crown of the sleeve is always 2 cm at least, or at least 2 cm bigger than the front and the back armhole measurements together. That is a given. That should happen. you need that ease so that you can fit your sleeve nicely. It just gives it a nice finish and a nice sit when you have that ease. So you're going to ease it into your armhole. So that's a given. But for my bicep, I'm going to make this adjustment. So to make the adjustment, I've already gone ahead and traced out my sleeve block. Yeah, because I'm not going to slash and spread through my block, no. So I've traced it out, and then I'm going to slash from the elbow level, that's the hem of the sleeve, to the crown. So if you've seen my videos before, I know I've mentioned this, where there's this thing that we call in dart manipulation, or slash and spread, that you slash to or through. So you're either slashing to a point or you're slashing through a point. So we're slashing to this, meaning that we're going to leave it hanging by a thread of its life. Like hanging by a thread. So from the hem all the way to the crown, that's what I'm going to do. Now this part here, you can either do before you slash through your sleeve or after. It actually just depends on you. So I'm going ahead to do that before I slash. What I'm trying to do is to create a space where I can slash my sleeve on. So I'm going to draw a new grain line. So it's a straight line. It's going to serve as my new grain line, since I will be slashing through the grain line on the sleeve here. So next I'll go ahead and slash from my hem to the crown of my sleeve. So I'm slashing to, not through, right? Now remember that I said that I'll be adding 2 cm to my bicep. So I'm going to be spreading my bicep line area by 2 cm. So watch. Now I make sure that I balance my crown mid position with the new grain line, and then at my sleeve level I will be adding 1 cm on either side of the grain line. So this will now give me a total of 2 cm. I'll then make sure that I balance the bicep line with that 2 cm opening. So automatically I've opened my bicep by 2 cm. Now I know that you can see this opening extends all the way down to the elbow level, right? Now what would happen is I would tape down my sleeve first so that it doesn't move, and then I'll make an adjustment for my elbow level. So I've opened my bicep, which is what I desire, and then I'll now make the corrections by imputing back the elbow width measurement, then connecting it back to the bicep. Also redraw the bicep line, because I now have a new bicep line. Now I'm checking my elbow length measurement to make sure that I mark the appropriate length, which I'm doing right now. So I've marked that. This will now give me my new elbow line level. So square that from the grain line. That will give you a new square line. Then go ahead and impute half of your elbow width or elbow circumference measurement, so elbow circumference divided by 2. I'm adding paper here because I didn't really calculate how much paper I would need at first, so I just added for the middle, but I still would need to add at the side. So that's basically what I'm doing, adding paper because my calculation was a bit off. Yeah, these things do happen. So I'm adding paper, then I'll now extend my line, and then I'll go ahead and mark half of my elbow circumference measurement on either side of the gray line. I think my elbow circumference was 33 cm, is 33 cm. I don't know why I keep saying was. It's 33 cm, so I'll be having 16.5 cm on either side. And then I will now go ahead and connect that to my new bicep line. So now I have a new sleeve block, botched and all. My Frankie Weenie, my Frankie Weenie sleeve with all the patches and all the surgeries. But hey, it is what it needs to be, right? You can go ahead, if you're satisfied with this, you can go ahead and just trace it on a chipboard so that you can have something permanent to keep around. But yeah, this is it. This is one way of adjusting your sleeve. There are other situations where you might need to add or open up the crown so that you can now, like, let's say that 2cm that's at the bicep, you need to have it on the crown. So you would go ahead and like slash through and then make that adjustment, open it up by that 2cm. So yeah, I'm just adjusting the crown because by the time you spread a pattern, it kind of like distorts a bit at that point. So just blending that so that I have my pattern nice and smooth at the top. So yeah, this is my sleeve. So if you've drafted a block from scratch before, or you've used my process of drafting a block from scratch and then you're now trying this block adjustment process out, please, I'd love to know, which one do you find easier? Because I find that it's like a half and half. Some people would prefer to draft from scratch. Some people would actually prefer to just adjust their block. So what group are you? Do you prefer to adjust your block, or do you prefer to draft from scratch? I would love to know what you think. So please write that in the comment section. Now I have a complete set: my front body's block, my back body's block, and my sleeve. Happy and satisfied. Again, not to sound redundant, but always label your block. So write your name, write the size, so that you can always know what block you're working with and you have something to reference. Again, here's our pretty set, tape and all. But yeah, this is my set, and this is what I'll be working with to make my many designs to come. So if you are ready and willing to explore how you can take a block and convert it to numerous ways, get ready. The journey is about to begin. Now, for my full busted sisters, I'm going to be showing you how you can take this commercial block and adjust it for a full bust. These blocks, as they are, usually apply for B cups, but I'll be showing you how you can address those that have like a fuller chest, so your C cups, your D cups upwards. I'll be showing you how to do that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. Like, share, send it to somebody that you know is in need of it. I would love to see what you guys do. And please make sure to either tag me on Instagram or even send me something on the DM. Like, it's fine. But yeah, so I'll be showing you how to make this adjustment next. Stay tuned.